How you guys doing? It's PESEP here. In this episode of PES 2015 Gameplay and Tactic Tips, we're gonna go ahead and give some tips about fluid formation. Now let's not make this complicated. Okay, at the moment, as you can see here, my fluid formation is off. So therefore, the only formation I'll be using is the one that you see. I can't switch to any of them. Remember in PES 2014 we had 3 preset tactics which you can, during the gameplay, you can switch to any of them. Now they replace that with fluid formation with more options. If you turn your fluid formation off, you can have up to 9 custom tactics. Okay, as I said, I'm not going to make this complicated. As you can see here, our fluid formation is off. When we try to change formation, it doesn't give us at the top right. It does not show up when in position, when out of position and kickoff. So we're gonna go ahead and turn our fluid formation on here. As you can see at the top, I'm flicking my right stick. As you can see, different ones. Once at the kickoff, this is the formation that your opponent will see when you kick off. When you're in the position attacking, it will turn into this. I've customized it myself, by the way. And when you're out of position, obviously it's gonna turn to this one. So we're gonna go ahead to the main one, which was right here. As you can see here, if I select change formation, it gives me 3 options, and I've customized mine as this. At kickoff, my opponent will see Ronaldo on the flank. When I actually have the ball, Ronaldo goes in the midfield as a striker, and when I don't have the ball, I'm compact in the mid, so I won't get countered. As soon as I win the ball, I counter on the flank with Bale or Ronaldo. So that's the use of fluid formation. It gives you more tactical option to confuse your opponent not to be man marked. Alright, and so basically this option right here, guys, you don't need to change it. During the game, the computer by itself, the AI by itself, is switched to those other 2 tactics. So when you start your game, this is how your opponent will see. As soon as you have the ball, the AI will switch your tactic to this one when it says in position, and when you don't have the ball, the AI will switch your tactic to the 3rd one. But if you want to manually switch to the tactics that you want, not the AI, then that's what fluid formation is for. That one, defensive and custom, again, it has 3 options. You can custom your defensive and you can customize your defensive and custom one by flicking the left stick during the game. I'm using a D-pad to move, so for me it's a left stick. If you're using a left stick to move, then for you it's D-pad up and down. You can switch your defensive and custom. But again, in your defensive, AI will switch to those 3. So your defensive has 3 tactics, your custom has 3 tactics, and the one that you start with, which was right here, it has 3 tactics as well. So don't get confused, guys. If you don't want to change your tactic by yourself, flicking your right stick up and down, then just stick to this one, because this is good enough. You start with this. When you have the ball, AI will switch you to this. When you don't have the ball, AI will switch you to that. But this is for like kind of basic, players who are just starting PES. But for me personally, if I'm winning by 2 goals, I switch to my defensive one. Again, AI will switch me to those 3. So I'm not completely defensive. At kickoff, it's going to be like this. When I'm in position, I can still counter Ronaldo on the flank, and when I don't have the ball, I'll be compact in the midfield. Now, I like my custom one. If I'm winning by 2 goals, probably minute 60, I'll switch to my custom tactics myself, not the AI. And then when I'm on the ball, as you can see, Ronaldo's the striker again with Benzema. Modric, you can see, he'll play as a centre midfielder. I don't like to play him attacking midfielder, so it won't get countered easily. And when I have the ball, it will turn into this. As you can see, Ronaldo's is a lone striker, and when I don't have the ball, it will turn to this formation. Again, I can counter this little triangle between Khedira, Cruz and Madrid. It will allow me to do a quick pass and move, and then pass it to Ronaldo on the flank. So as I said, guys, you don't need to do this. You don't need to switch to those 2 by yourself unless you really need it. To make this less complicated, don't switch your tactic manually. Just stick to this one. Set this up. All you need to do, go to your change formation. At kickoff, I'm using this one. Possession game. You can actually choose what you want from here. You can customize it yourself. And team instructions sliders is actually the same. I've left it exactly the same. I mean, if I want to play defensive, I can set this to few. But I believe best defense is attack, in my opinion. And our defensive sliders, as you can see, is here. Is aggressive, containing area is wide, I would rather contain an area, make it 10 middle, because a lot of people, come through the middle and do long balls. But it just depends how good you are defensively. Defensive line, I'm not really bothered about this because I can also flick my left stick and drop my defensive line. That's how I defend in PES, guys. As soon as you lose the ball, drop defensive line, select your last defender, and then pressure with the square with the AI. So basically, when you hold in the square button, your teammate pressures the passer while you're selecting the last defender. That means you'll be able to defend through balls easily. Numbers and defense, medium is okay for me. So that's about it, guys. If you have any questions, please ask me. You can comment here, or you can like my Facebook page, which is PES My Club. I will answer any questions there. You can also follow me on Twitter at PESEP 2014 if you have any questions, and you'll be able to get a notification of my live streams when I can actually these formation and online divisions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give us a thumb up. Make sure to subscribe for my other videos. Before we finish this video, guys, one thing I'd like to mention. You may think, okay, why are you using Cruz as a defensive midfielder? Alright, the Cruz, if I choose Cruz as an attacking midfielder, or even a center midfielder, which is the original position, as you can see here, he's actually got the build-up card. But the reason why I use him as a defensive midfielder is because as a defensive midfielder, he's actually got the Anchorman card, as you can see here. Looks like actually they've changed it. Before the live update, Cruz had an Anchorman card as a defensive midfielder, but probably that's been changed after the live updates. Khedira, he's a destroyer. That's what I like about him. That's why I choose him. I can be more offensive by using Modric as a CMF and add James Rodriguez there, but at the moment when I'm making this video, James Rodriguez condition is down. So you can if you want to be more offensive by player rules, you can actually have one defensive midfielder and then use Modric here and then change here for James Rodriguez. It just depends on your personal experience and how you play. Anyway, guys, I've been PESEP. Until next time, ciao for now.